Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land. We are streaming to you live Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now on Twitter.
That's right. And today is Meditation Monday. Hashtag Meditation Monday. I love meditation. So we're going to give you some tips how to master your meditation, and we're going to hear one inspirational story of a woman who is a therapist and teaching meditation and mindfulness.
She's the mindfulness expert.
Right?
In the house.
In the house. Good morning, Ms. Elizabeth Winkler. She is a licensed family and marriage therapist. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
We are happy to have you. You just walked in. You were such a light. So we're curious to know, what is your morning routine? How do you start your day?
Every morning I sit at my altar and I do meditation for whether it's 10 seconds or 10 minutes, just having that time to really connect with my body, close my eyes, breathe, and ground into the present moment. And then I also like to, with my children, pick a mantra each day. So let me be, and then fill in the blank. So let me be peace, let me be love, let me be truth, let me be kind, something like that.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Aww. This is the month of love, so we are focused on love. Let me be love today, right?
Yes.
I love the orange shirt too. You're matching the whole Good Morning La La Land brand. You're on point with that pillow back there.
No, it's really interesting though. You mentioned meditation and having an altar. Could you explain that?
Yes, well, I think having an altar is really important because if you go there on a regular basis, there's an energy that is there. Just as I said, if you don't have much time, we're busy here in Los Angeles, and you only have a few seconds, just sitting there, there's an energy there that really calms the body, the nervous system, and allows you to just fully tap into that present moment. So if you can find a space in your home where you can just put a candle or a picture or a stone or a seashell, something that really has meaning to you, and then over time you can add to that and it becomes a really special place that holds that energy for you.
Ooh, that sounds delightful. I want to create an altar now.
Definitely. Got to have an altar.
Goals for well, thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited to get back in the studio to learn more about you and your story later in the show.
I just want to visit her altar.
Right?
Yeah, the energy's already there.
I had an altar for years in my walk-in closet.
Yeah.
And I had like this little, of course, a meditation pillow, a little thing with a mirror, and all my little trinkets, and my a book that I had all like my kind of visioning and stuff. And I'm a firm believer in the altar as well, just so it holds that space.
Yeah, it's nice to have a safe, sacred space that you return to over and over again, and that you sort of relegate to only positive feelings and emotions. I love that idea.
It's so interesting. I literally yesterday read an article about the importance of the altar from Daily I love that newsletter, and it was saying just that. So I've decided that until I have that personal space created for myself, I'm going to wear my altar, and it's this rose quartz, just healing my heart chakra, love. Took a note from the chakra girl. Hey, shout out,
Yeah,
right?
Nice.
And,
So,
and I will say also, one of the things that I firmly believe in too is that the ultimate altar, of course, is inside of you.
that's right.
So,
go anywhere, bam, he's already
right,
dropping the mic.
It's true. So it's nice to have it reflected out in the world, for sure. And it's also good to remember that the ultimate altar is inside. So.
For sure.
2 cents.
Or the bar at Wally's. That is
The bar at Wally's.
great altar. I visited it on Friday night, a couple girlfriends and I. What a scene. I took your recommendation, Erin. Thank you for that. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
The music was great. The crowd was greater. And the wine,
It's a total scene.
total scene.
Total scene. Complete
Total
scene.
scene. I loved it. Loved it. Your son was in town. How was your weekend?
Oh, thanks for asking. You know what? We had a great time. What did we do? Oh, Friday we just were mellow. We were going to go to a movie and we couldn't find a movie we wanted. But we went down to Malibu, down to Paradise Cove on Saturday. Went for a long walk on the beach and hung out down there, and then we went to Self-Realization Center, which is Lake Shrine,
place.
yeah, right down in where is that, Palos Verdes, and it was so funny because we were like walking around. He'd never been there, and we were kind of vibing out. And I'm like, let's sit down and meditate for a minute. He's into meditate. We always do some meditations together, at least once or twice a day, always here. And we're sitting down. And literally these guys start walking by, and I couldn't help but overhear their conversation, because one of the guys was like, well, they implanted our DNA and they processed it and they sped it forward like millions of years. And I was like, what the hell? So I was like, we have to follow this guy. So I started following this guy and listening to their conversation. He was a big Bashar follower and alien kind of a connoisseur. And I thought, there's all kinds, you know, and each your own. And of course there's, you know, we have different, obviously there's infinite galaxies, so of course there's some level of aliens, but you know, it was just a funny conversation, so we were cracking up.
That's so interesting. You hear so many, LA is such an interesting place. It's so entertaining in so many ways. It's kind of scary, it's kind of fun, but I've never been anywhere like LA. For
Right?
that reason, yeah, just the conversations that you overhear sometimes are mind-blowing.
That's why they call it LALALAND.
Yeah.
So how about you guys? You guys went to the spa on Friday, right?
Oh my gosh, epic. It was
Really?
insane. Yeah, I mean, I've had a facial before, but nothing like this. This was I swear it was like a 30-step facial. It was mind-blowing. And I didn't think it was ever gonna end. I hope that it never ended. It was just incredible. I think I got done and I felt like I was drunk, literally.
It was so transformational,
It was.
innovative. Van Soto, the owner of the Ola Henrik's Salon and Spa up on Sunset Plaza, had invited us in after his interview. It was so fantastic. First of all, they take care of you like no other. You walk in and the staff is just so excited to see you, and they're present, and they give you this beautiful tea, and you go in for your service, and it's innovative, it's transformational. I mean, I felt like it was seriously a facial with purpose.
Yes.
I was meditating.
Yeah, it was a very meditative experience.
Yes.
The music was incredible. I had Chevy, and she was spectacular. I mean, she was present, she was so professional, she was so sweet and kind. In fact, she wrote me today and was like, hey, if you need to come back,
Wow.
because and get some little extra healing. I was like, wow, this is incredible.
Well, if you need to feel a little indulgent, I would highly recommend going up to the Ola Henriksen Spa up on Sunset Plaza. It was wonderful.
Yeah, shout out to Kate from Morgan Publicity.
So it's actually in Sunset Plaza. So I'm trying to think of where that is. So because I love Petite Four, Le Petite Four, which is, we went there this weekend also.
When you park in that gorgeous, like, it has the best view
Yeah,
of
it's like
Los
the only
Angeles.
free parking in all of Los Angeles.
So you park there, and it's right there on the first floor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Got
just
it.
kind of hidden right down there.
Got it. Okay,
It's like
cool.
right sort of down the street from Equinox, right behind.
Yeah.
So
We go to Le Petite Four every single time my son comes in town. It's just one of those kind of traditions we have for sure.
Great for people watching.
Yep, with Alex, I think he's the owner up there. Great guy. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. And then what we do? Well, then last night, Saturday night.
Saturday night, we hit the town in Hollyweird, and it was weird. So NBA All-Stars was happening here in Los Angeles, and it was a scene.
Right?
We just we were like, oh, we'll just go to the hotel bar and grab a few drinks. Oh my gosh, paparazzi was out there. We were like getting chased down and yelled at. It was wild.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. Rob was like, LA is very weird. I was like, this is not the normal. But I guess it is the normal.
Yeah,
It's LA,
yeah,
right?
it
I feel
was.
like you have to meditate to keep your sanity in
Yes,
Los Angeles.
yes.
Ooh, yeah.
And ideally, every moment in LA needs to be a meditative moment,
Right.
ideally. Because, there's a lot going on, and there are a lot of sort of competing, conflicting energies, and so it's good to stay centered
Right.
in that peace.
Right.
and
I
happiness.
feel like it's like anyone can go up to the Himalayas and zen out and
Yeah.
meditate. Like the real gurus are here in the concrete jungle. It's like holding space and doing the work and having all these energies coming at us. So I find it's so imperative.
It's absolutely true, and I don't think it's a coincidence at all that some of the greatest spiritual teachers, most of which taught meditation and mindfulness, made their way to LA to teach here. So Yogananda and Ernest Holmes, all those guys.
Oh, so many,
it's
right?
incredible.
Well, it's like an energy battlefield here. If you're sensitive to anything at all, you're like constantly bombarded. So they really, truly must be experts in it if they can maintain that Zen space here
Totally.
in Los Angeles.
You're so right. It's an empath's dream and nightmare
Right?
simultaneously.
I always say it's like heaven and hell all in one place, because as we use universal law, we can use it to create heaven or hell. We can invert it and have chaos or harmony, and I always feel like it's just magnified here.
It really is magnified, but that's part of why we created the show, is that there is a shift in consciousness happening here in Los Angeles, and anybody can feel it. And it's a place where dreamers come. It's not just about the city of LA, but it's about La La Land, the community of dreamers, seekers, doers, believers who are intent on focusing in that and finding that space. And so there is a positive change happening and people are craving that. So that's what we're hoping to do for you with this show.
Absolutely.
Right?
We can be part of your altar.
That's right. So on that note, let's take a little break. When we come back, we're actually going to talk and kind of gab about 20 scientific reasons you should start meditating right now. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. I'm Jessamine Moyer, host of the Focus TV network show, LA Unscripted, and co-host of America's first live streaming talk show, Good Morning La La Land. This is the Focus Magazine preview show in an exclusive sneak peek. Today, I have the privilege to announce the March 2018 issue of Focus Magazine, and we're calling it the Influence issue, featuring amazing personalities making a difference in our local communities. On the cover, we have singer-songwriter and host of Chasing Glory podcast, Lillian Garcia. I had the extreme honor of both interviewing her and writing a feature for the magazine on Lillian. She's truly an influencer on so many levels. Joining her on the cover is my spiritual influencer and co-host of Good Morning La La Land, Dr. Erin Haskell. And with her is a true professor of influence, Amanda Russell. Also featured in this issue, we have the constructional chef, Scott Harris, executive chef from the Four Seasons Hotel right here in Beverly Hills, Byron Thomas, and two members of the Focus TV family and dynamic duo of lifestyle influence, Janet Gunn and Melissa Myers. Also in this issue, we feature Lauren Everts, the founder of the Skinny Confidential, hello gorgeous, and the candle makers Elise Fratto and Maylene Weber of Leone Candeli, which is of course right over there. And Cynthia Abbey Naked, who I interviewed for my show LA Unscripted, and she is the founder of a great piece of functional jewelry from the Coley Collective. We also have a celebrity chef, Serena Poon, and her new product, Just Add Water, in a series of 4 mom influencers from our millennial mom herself, host Jenna Barnett. It's all influence, influence, influence in this issue of Focus Magazine. Get your copy today on newsstands or online, and be sure to watch our companion video features as well, because we are the only magazine in the country providing a robust video complement to our print features. I'm Jessamine Moyer, coming to you from the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. Thanks for watching.
Back live from Los Angeles, we are so honored to have Elizabeth Winkler in the house. How are you, Elizabeth? We want to ask you a question because it's all about Meditation Monday today, and I want to know your definition or how you would describe what meditation is.
Great question. So meditation, for me, it started as a practice where you're really allowing everything to be as it is. But the more you practice it, then you can allow life, what's happening in the current moment, to really happen. And so you can align more with the current moment. So meditation really ends up becoming a way of being present with the moment and allowing everything to be as it is.
Powerful.
So beautiful. Well, we look forward to getting back to the next segment and diving into your practice and how you're taking it out to the world. So we look forward to that. So today, you guys, is all about Meditation Monday, and we wanted to talk about meditation. And what's cool, I think, about our show is that we want to bring it from all perspectives. As a doctor of divinity, we talk about it spiritually, and as a positive psychologist, we talk about how it is from that perspective. We bring in,
somebody just trying to figure it out.
Amazing perspective.
Already figured it out.
And we try and bring in experts that have scientific data and things like that. So today we did pull up an article that actually is by Emma M. Sapala, who is a PhD at Stanford, and she actually did this incredible article. We're not going to go through all the 20 reasons to start meditating today, but we want to discuss it, and it's all backed in science. So what's so cool about it is that these things that have been taught for you know, as long as mankind's been around, is now having scientific data. So I think it's great to have all perspectives, right?
You know, it really is. And you know what's been so fascinating is we bring in guests and experts from all walks of life and fields here at Good Morning La La Land, whether it be, you know, life coaches or chefs, musicians, fashionistas. And the majority of these people who are wildly successful start their day meditating.
Isn't that fascinating?
And it's so fascinating because it's really changed the way I'm intentionally starting my day. But I was like, this is a common denominator among very successful, highly respected entrepreneurs.
You're absolutely right. It's interesting. I was watching Billions. I'm sort of into the show Billions, right? And even though this show is really about people making a ton of money, insider trading, all this stuff, even in the show, both of the sort of main characters of the show are so deeply into meditation that it's part of their daily routine.
Wow, fascinating.
And so it's even being sort of woven into entertainment. So yeah, you're right.
Fascinating, right?
Yeah.
So meditation has been my foundation for my practice. I started meditating when my son was 2. He's 22 now. So it's been 20 years of an epic journey. And just from a spiritual perspective, meditation is really merging of the lower self and the higher self as one, and unifying and knowing that you are the individual and the entire universe. So meditation for me is really allowing the universe or your higher self to speak to you and bring you all the wisdom of the world. So it's really allowing yourself to release all the mind chatter, release the kind of limiting beliefs, and begin to expand consciousness. And it's just a natural process. And in that, you can direct energy, which is more of a prayer or more, you can say, intentional work. Meditation is more about just sitting in energy and being in a relationship. So it's like, imagine you're in a great relationship and all you do is talk. It's not going to be very much fun for the other person. So meditation is really about listening and speaking. It's about both of the communication.
I have a question. When you say relationship, is that like meeting of your like physical self with your spiritual self?
Sure. I mean, you could say that, but
I love that. And I would also say that at the deepest core, there is no relationship, meaning that really, for me, meditation isn't something you do, it's something you are. So it's sort of letting go of all the sort of physical, the thoughts about the world and life and all that stuff, and remaining sort of in this place of effortless awareness. So there is no relationship to anything, it's just being that one. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So for most people, there's all types of meditation. So there's no wrong way of meditating, but most people, you know, sit in meditation position, in the lotus position, and you can hold your hands in mudras or not. You can just put them in your lap. It doesn't matter. Or you can just sit in a chair. If you can't sit where you can't cross your legs, you know, some people can't do that. You can just sit in a chair.
I have a question. Why do people sit with their legs crossed meditating? What is that about?
You want to answer? So I know for certain, so a lot of meditation was developed in the East. It's very hot and it's colder on the ground. And oftentimes when you cross your legs, it was also a more comfortable position. So one of the things that, you know, we as Westerners, we try to adopt what things look like, but sometimes don't understand the substance or the reason behind it. And so for me, I agree with Erin that, you know, you can take on these different postures and it's great, but ultimately the ultimate posture is within you, and so the most important thing to do is be comfortable when you're meditating, because essentially you want to let go of the body, your fixation and attachment to the body, and you simply want to be in a state of relaxation, just to put it simply.
So from a spiritual perspective, we sit in the lotus position because we want to actually get grounded and actually sit on the ground. So you have chakras that go up all the way from your sex organs all the way up and out the top of your head. So you're actually connected to the very finite aspect of the center of the earth, which we know is, they can't find the finite. It is so infinite that they can't find it. And up through the chakras all the way to eternity, to beyond the universe. So you're actually connecting the energy, and that's why you want to actually sit as grounded as you can on your first chakra with the ground, so that you can actually ground in and link up to that energy.
That's so cool.
So in that, you know, we're just going to talk about some benefits today. Obviously, how to meditate and everything's a huge conversation, but we just want to get in. So obviously, this article, she's a PhD with Stanford, and she has so many great scientific links. So the first 3 is all about boosting your health. They found scientifically that meditation increases your immune function, it decreases pain, and it decreases inflammation at the cellular level. And all I can do is speak for myself. When I went through all the processes of subconscious work and meditation, I had been in a car accident, actually was herniated a disc. I had major issues all through my body, and through the process, I have absolutely zero pain in my body these days after meditating for 20 years.
It's so incredible. Yes, stress, right? One of the major causes of disease. and illness in the body. So to the extent that you can reduce the stress, you're going to reduce the inflammation, and then you'll see positive health outcomes.
Cortisol reduces cortisol, reduces all the inflammation, and hence has, you know, a butterfly through the whole body.
Cortisol is what's produced from stress, right?
Yes, it's a stress hormone. Also, it causes you to store fat around your stomach. So if you can reduce the stress in your life, you reduce the cortisol being released, and then you should ideally lose weight. Particularly around the stomach. Yeah.
So what are the next happiness? You should talk about those, right?
So also boosts your happiness, increases positive emotion, decreases depression, anxiety. Some of the strongest scientific outcomes that we've seen as a result of meditation are correlated with non-psychotic mood and anxiety disorders. So if you have a non-psychotic mood or anxiety disorder, you can trust that meditation is going to be extremely helpful.
I get totally insane if I don't meditate.
Do you?
I start to be like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like an insane woman? And I'm like, oh, I got to meditate again.
And you know, Erin, I think that's the natural. I think that's the normal, not natural, but that's the normal state of the world. And I think we call it normal just because everybody's experiencing it, but it's certainly not healthy. And I feel just like you. If I don't sort of tap into and turn on, I don't feel like myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what I love about meditation is it increases your social life. So that's where
Yes.
I specialize. I'm a bit of a social, well, I'm extremely social. I love going out. I'd rather be social than be alone. And if it boosts my social life, I see why not. So it says it increases your social connection and emotional intelligence. Very interesting.
That's
It makes
huge.
you more compassionate and it makes you feel less lonely.
That's huge, Jess. Like, and we know for certain that the most highly correlated variable with success is emotional intelligence, right? So traditional IQ doesn't correlate nearly as high with success as emotional intelligence does. So if you want to be successful, if you want to have a good relationships, if you want to, you know, have great health, if you want to be happy, meditate.
That's great, because where I specialize is connection in relationships. The business stuff, well, I'm still learning and being more savvy, but it's really interesting because naturally I've always invested heavily in relationships. So I think it'd be really great for me to incorporate meditation to that, to be more mindful of
Most
that.
people want to do business with people they like, so the socialization is the link to business. So it's a good one.
Yeah,
For
good.
sure, right?
Works
so
for
there's
me.
20 different topics here. We're not going to go through all of them today, but this is an incredible article because she links to like all this other scientific data. I mean, it's she's an incredible. She wrote an incredible article here.
I absolutely love the article, and one thing I will say, just from my personal experience, is that you know, meditate for all these reasons, but meditate mostly because it just feels good to feel good.
Right.
Like, you know, and if you can just make that your goal, because I know in the beginning when I was meditating, I was like, I don't see any health outcomes. I don't see your improvement. I don't see anything changing in my social life. I'm not making more money, that's for sure. And I remember kind of getting frustrated about it. I was like, I don't even feel less stressed. I feel even more stressed because it's one more to-do item. And then suddenly I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit with the intent of enjoying sitting. Or I'm going to breathe with the intent of just enjoying my breathing. And that's when the shift happened.
Right?
Yeah.
Most people meditate because they want to manifest something.
Yeah,
and
try to create something.
It's like the worst thing you can do with meditation because it messes up. It messes up the entire intention of just allowing whatever is to come through. You're trying to force something, and it actually stops. It kind of hinders the process.
I thought you were supposed to manifest during meditation. Wrong.
I think, well, there's many
Alarm
different.
button. Minus 2,000 points.
And there's many different paths, I think, to meditation and manifestation, as there are people, right? Everybody has a different. That being said, what's worked mostly for me, is enjoying sitting, enjoying being in the present moment, and reminding myself or coming to the realization. She's like that. She's stuck with that. She's like, you lost me at the.
But that's the
piece.
counterintuitive process of meditation. That's like the secret that no one really ever talks. They're so obsessed with manifesting, and it's actually the one thing that messes people up the most when it comes to meditation.
No wonder I'm so messed up.
No, you're not messed up. You're not at all.
You know, I had to schedule in time for meditation and for meditation.
No.
That was like cross.
Well, it is cross.
Yeah, and I would say, and I hear what you're saying, and I feel that way often, Jez. I felt that way often. I would say the difference maker for me is reminding myself that which I'm seeking, I already am, and that I'm the source of that which I want to create in the world. And it's not something out there I'm trying to get at all, but that if I can simply relax, everything comes.
As I say, seek the kingdom of God first, and all things are done unto you. So that's the scripture.
Yeah. So I think you're doing all the great things, Jess. You're not doing anything wrong. I promise you.
No, you're not doing it wrong. But I do think that it messes up a lot of people in meditation.
Well,
it's one of those things.
it might be why I can't turn off the mind chatter and like all the clutter, because I'm so busy like telling myself, how do you feel about the way your house is? How do you feel about this relationship?
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like, so I'm trying to like feel all these things. No wonder I can't just be.
You just nailed it though. That's what it's just being.
Just
so
be.
one of my favorite books is Ramana Maharshi's Be As You Are. That's the way he describes meditation. It's simply being who you would be without the stories in your head. Like, who would you be without all those stories?
Or Be Here Now by Ram Dass,
Yes.
or The Power of Now by,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like all these books. There's a common theme here, you guys,
Yes.
just so you know.
Just be. You can just
It's
be.
a concept. It's probably one of the hardest things people could ever manifest, actually, is just being.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's part of the purpose, I think, the journey of our lives.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited to get back there to the interview, diving into another incredible expert. I mean, we are so blessed with the people
We really
that come
are.
on the show, right?
Yeah, cannot
so
wait to talk to
we're
Elizabeth.
going to have a little break, you guys. We come back, we're going to find out about some different processes she's doing with kids in marriage and couples counseling and all the above. So you don't want to miss this interview. I think she has a wealth of wisdom.
She's going to clean this whole meditation thing up for us.
Right? Mindfulness, meditation, heart surgery. She'll tell you what that means when we come back.
Right?
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paprath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moye.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rose girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks for
having
having me
Rose
on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having
Of
me.
course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean,
Thank
we
you for
have
having me.
roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you.
Aw.
I so appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Jenna Barnett with Millennial Mom on Focus TV. And today I have Jennifer Yen here today to chat with me about all things mom related. So you actually started your career as an actress and you were on the very famous TV series Power Rangers, right?
Yes, I used to fight them as my first career.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay Edwina Chia. Ladies and genticles, Tiffany Angulo. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. You know, you're my Beige Bay of the week, not only because of your nationality, but because you just seem like the girl who does it all.
Hi everybody, I'm Allie Landry and welcome to Reshape TV. I have created an online platform, reshapelive.com and Reshape TV, to provide a place where women can learn from the very best resources for those of us who are striving to reshape our lives and live an optimal, healthy lifestyle.
Hey LA, I'm Gwen Lane with the LA Girl, and I'm here with Liz Hernandez, former TV host at Access Hollywood and now the founder of Wordiful. So excited to hear more about that. Liz, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi Gwen, thanks for having me.
Hi everyone, it's Michelle Gillette, life coach and host of the Spotlight series on Focus TV. And joining us today is our dear friend, Shalini Videra.
And thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm so happy to be here.
You're the perfect person to be here because we love anything that is, women helping other women, women empowering other women.
Hi, I'm Janica. I'm here with Focus TV for my segment of Emails. And today I interview Doriana Richmond. You're gonna love listening to Doriana. Not only is she beautiful, but she's so heartfelt, and she has created this amazing jewelry line called Stone Simple. Hi.
Well, thank you for that introduction.
Yeah,
Wow.
of course. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, and welcome to Everyday Game Changers, the show that features people giving back to their community. I'm your host, Annalise Getz, and today we are joined by Rolanda Watts. Rolanda is a stand-up comedian, she's an actress, she's a television personality, and she is a philanthropist, which is why she's here today. So thank you for joining us, Rolanda.
Thank you for having me. A joy to be here.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new magical episode of Soul Reboot. I am your host, Allison Charles. Please welcome and meet this powerful divine queen whose name is Daphne Wayans. I am so happy to be here with you.
I'm so honored to be here.
Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited for Meditation Monday, and an expert is in the house, Ms. Elizabeth Wiegler. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm so happy to be here.
Elizabeth, so great to meet you, and you look so amazing in that color, so gorgeous.
She looks like love. She
Right?
just looks like love. Shoes included.
Yep.
Yes.
Got my love on.
Yeah.
Walking peace. So as a licensed marriage and family therapist, yeah. What was your journey to that? What made you decide this is the course you wanted to take in your life?
Good question. Well, I found therapy my freshman year in college, and my mother passed away soon after that. And so loss has been a big part of my story. And I actually find that for most of my clients. Loss is what brings people into the office often. But through the doorway of fear or loss, we often are at our knees, right? And that's what brings us to consider a new path. So I really found psychology in college, and I opened the book and read it, and I'm like, this is how I think, you know? And just really dove in, and it's been quite a process for a long time.
Absolutely love that. Eckhart Tolle talked about that, loss leading to sort of awakening.
Yes.
Different, again, on a different kind of, on a spiritual level, and he calls it the way of the cross.
Yes.
And he says that through people who have experienced loss, you can, prevent your own sort of negative adverse experiences, and you can become awakened now. You can become more mindful now. You can be happier now. And so that's one of the things that you do now. You teach mindfulness and meditation. And so what would you say, was the greatest step in getting to that place? Because you experienced this loss, you found psychology, but how'd you make the leap to meditation and mindfulness from there?
Okay, great question. So a few years ago, I started I always meditated for over 20 years now. However, it really shifted when I made it, as I was talking earlier, like an altar and a daily practice. That shifted everything. And I started to really notice, wow, this is making a huge change in me. So what I say, my children at the time, I used them as, this may sound funny, but my guinea pigs. And I had them in their car seats, and I created what I call car seat meditation. So I had them strapped in. I said, if it's working on me, maybe it'll work on them. And so I would just do a guided meditation with them on the way to school. And when I picked them up, I would check in and say, did you go to the river or the waterfall? I'd make something up, which was reflective of challenges arising on the yard or whatever it may be, and saw that it really was helping them. So that's really what made this huge turning of the tide for me, which I was very curious as to, okay, it's working with me, and I see, you know, all sorts of people in my practice, but what about these little ones? Why aren't we focusing on them?
Oh my gosh.
And this has brought you now to working with children with meditation.
Yes.
It's so great, so
Yes,
amazing.
I
Tell
love
us
it.
about that.
So I currently teach from 5 years old. I teach starting in kindergarten through 5th grade, so that's 5 to 12. And I go in and I teach them present-oriented languaging, like, what are you noticing? That's the big word, notice, notice, notice,
like
because it brings you into your body. Because, you know, when we're so locked in what you guys were talking about earlier, the chattering mind, which I think is the root of all of our problems, quite simply. And so we can really connect to presence. So teaching children how to connect to presence. So what are you noticing? So we start with that, and then all sorts of things. Can I tell you about this?
Yeah.
I brought a little prop. Okay, so what I do is I take this snow globe and I shake it up and I say, everyone seen a snow globe before? I go, see this? I go, this is what it's like when you come from recess or when you're emotional or when your chattering mind is going off. And I said, now how do we get it to settle? So I just go like this in front of the class and I just wait. They say, you stop, you know, pause. So I say, we pause. And so we just, that's what we're doing. And I call it, with children, I call it noticing breaks. Instead of a timeout, let's take a noticing break.
So
What's a
nice.
noticing break? You just stop, you close your eyes. You notice maybe your body's going off, your snow globe is going off, and then you pause and you notice, and now what's happening? And so the glitter settles and it says, good times lie ahead. That's not my quote. I would put, they are always here. You know, if you check in.
In LA, we have like blizzards. It's like the, you know, the snow globes are going around circles, and you're like, I don't know, it's up or down or whatever,
It's
right?
glitter and sequins and all sorts of
Yeah.
That's so great. So I have a question for you. So working with, I know you work with children, you work with couples, married couples, so on and so forth. And I'm curious to know, because you know, you do traditional therapy and you do meditation and mindfulness. Where do you find like that formula for people? Like how much therapy versus daily spiritual practice and so on?
I love the question. So it's really what I call mindfulness now is, I call it the bullet train to freedom. Because what I have found as a therapist, having done this for a long time, when I started to integrate mindfulness or meditation into our therapy sessions, I saw people working through something in literally a 10, 15-minute process that could take 6 months to clear in talk therapy. It's just more effective. So how does that work? With a child, I'll tell you about heart surgery maybe later, but with an adult, you use, let's say, I tell people, the more upset you are, the better. Okay, so if you're having a panic attack, great. Now, so you come to my office and people are like, I'm not doing all. I'm like, good. I'm so glad you're here. Why? Because we can use the activated energy, again, the snow globe, go into the body, find that form energy that is most likely resistant, and then be with that, get to know it, allow it. Become friends with it, so to speak, and there's a whole process around that, and then it dissolves.
I find that when I get upset, I'm always like, what's really going on? Because it never has to do with what I think, you know, I'm upset about this situation or whatever, and I keep pulling it back, and it's always something so much different than I first thought. Do you find that with the couples?
Yes, so that's a great, I had last week a couple came in with a little, you know, superficial type argument, and we went, because I'm all about getting to the root. I want to cut it at the root, because then about 100 things are happening, 100 disturbances are happening from that root. So let's cut it at the root. And so yes, it's always a deeper thing, but I'll tell you, if you don't go with the labeling of talk therapy, you can not do that, and you can just go into the actual sensation. I don't even like to call it anxiety or depression. Let's just call it energy or sensation. Yeah. And then go into it. We can clear not only what is activated now, but serious history that we don't even know what we're, so, and then that really clears the heart. So the whole point is to clear the heart, because an open heart, clear mind.
So what would you tell people, though, who, like me, are afraid to go there because you won't bounce back. Like, what if we really get to the root of it and you can't handle it?
Well, I would say you can handle it. So I'm really big on mantra. Okay, so the mind is always saying, I can't handle it. So I think what I'm sensing, just from what you're telling me, is that's your mind at play. Your mind loves to say,
this mind!
Your mind is a constant, I can't.
Right.
I'm not okay with this. And that is the limitation. So the mantras I teach are, I can handle this, I'm fine with it, because that unplugs the mind and allows us to go into the heart so that this can become free. It's like in the heart, you can look at your disturbances like a caged puppy, kitty, or a baby, depending on which you like best, okay? And they're like knocking on your door, they're disturbing your snow globe, and they want freedom. This keeps them locked. But if you say, I'm fine with it, I can handle this, then you can open the cage and they can go out and they can be free.
That puppy will come out and play.
I love
Interesting.
that. So powerful. And such a great question, Jez. One of my favorite teachers who I saw on your Instagram page, which I love, everybody's got to check out our Instagram page, Osho, you know, and he's so great.
Hilarious.
And he's hilarious.
We
and
love
he's
him.
profound, yeah. And he said something very interesting that you just reminded me of, which is essentially is that he said, people come to me with all their problems, their money problems, their relationship problems. He says, I don't deal with their problems at all. I deal directly with the troublemaker, and I cut the troublemaker's head up right off.
Yes.
Troublemaker being simply the mind that's addicted to thinking and creating stories about everything and pretending that everything matters.
Right.
And I just love that. Do you find that your work with kids, that they're sometimes more available or they more easily let go of the stories than adults?
Wonderful. I love your question. Thank you. So I was just in a classroom last week, and it was first grade. And so these are pretty young kids. And so, yes, when you go into kindergarten, they're totally available. There's not a lot of story.
Wow.
But I was in a classroom the other day, first grade, and I said, have you noticed there's a voice in your head? Because who's teaching us this?
Right? They're like, what voice?
No.
We're all
That
thinking, we all think that that's who we are, but that's not who you are. So I said, have you noticed? And this boy's like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And he was saying, he said, yeah, I go, have you noticed that it says I can't? And I'm not okay with it? So I start out, that's part of the languaging. So yes, I think that children are learning this. Obviously it's part of our programming, our conditioning that our culture has. And so we come in open, and then we have the programming, and then we have to let go, or hopefully we get the opportunity to let go of that, so that we can have the wonder of a child with the wisdom of an adult.
I love that.
I love when you talked about, you know, talking about the mind chatter, that voice in the head, and people are like, what voice in the head? Yeah, that voice that just said, what voice in the head?
That one.
It's interesting. My brother's studying pediatric psychology, and he's at Boston Children's right now, and he works a lot with puppets because he mentioned it was easier for children to relate through the puppets and play their mind chatter through the puppets than that. So now, when I'm thinking of that, I visualize, like, what would my puppet be saying right now?
Perfect.
Because it's easier for me to let that go through a puppet than say that that's me.
Yes.
That's so
it's an
cute.
externalization, which is very powerful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we need to take a little break, but when we come back, we hear that you do something called heart surgery.
I do.
And we're going to learn about what that is. So stay tuned, you guys. We're going to find out in just a minute how to do heart surgery. This is going to be fun. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh no, it's going to be another challenge.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to This Week in Focus. I am your host, Victoria Simone, bringing you some of the highlights of what was filmed last week at the Focus TV network, which is America's first video streaming talk show network. I have my girl today helping me out,
Jez Moye, co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand. Tell me about This Week in Focus.
All right, well, first up, let's actually talk about the newest issue of Focus magazine with Lillian Garcia on the cover. This amazing woman is a singer, songwriter. She's a host of her own podcast, Chasing Glory, and she's a WWE alum. She was also on your show. Last week on the Focus TV network, we shot Moms Matter, hosted by Shirin Yadigar. We had Shift Happens with Matt Galan and psychic Michelle Mache. Aside from our normal lineup, we had Good Morning LaLaLand, who was on your show.
We had Get Fit with Katie Austin, Vance Soto of Ola Henriksen Spa, and Ali Levine of Stripped. Of course, we invited Lillian back to the studio and gave her the cover here.
Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Focus. I'm your host, Victoria Simone. Jez, thanks for helping me out. Bye-bye. I'm Jessa Moye, co-host of Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show with one of my associate producers, Victoria Simone. Hey girl, what happened this week in La La Land?
In case you missed us live, in La La Land on Monday, we got a fashion pass and we had 138 water with some of Maxim's finest. Tuesday was Vance Soto, owner of the Ola Henriksen Salon, and we got fit with Katie Austin. On Wednesday, we were lights, camera, action with Arian Alexander, and on Thursday, it was an incredible honor to have Lillian Garcia, who graces the cover of Focus magazine, here in studio. What? Friday, we got stripped with Ali Levine, and we got a look into some of the LA's top restaurants with Tammy Saffron of LA Chefs.
Yes.
It was a great week in La La Land.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We're having a fantastic conversation with Elizabeth Winkler. She's a mindfulness and meditation expert, marriage and family therapist. We have so many questions for you.
And we're about to get heart surgery.
We are about to get heart surgery.
What does that mean?
Okay, so heart surgery was something I created with my son one night in bed. All of my process that I have created through mindfulness have been through challenges. So that's a good way.
Jessa loves challenges.
I love a challenge.
There you go. So it's a process. Basically, I see adults all day long, and here they are challenged with emotion. And I thought I would find a way. I didn't know that I was actually creating something when I did, but it really worked. Do you want me to walk you through it?
I loved it. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I have a different process for adults. Which is more refined, which we could do that too.
We're kids also, so whichever you decide.
I'll tell you about the kids.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do the kids. Okay, so what we do is we all think of a challenge. If I go into a classroom, I have children think of a challenge, and you guys can think of a challenge that you have. Something that could be something that happened this morning, could be something big from a year ago. And what I do is I draw a heart on the board, and I have them draw the emotion. So you don't have to do that. You can just, if you feel something like a form in your body now, if you have any tension in your body right now, I invite you to become in touch with that. Okay. And so then what we do with the children is the first step is the most important step, which is I give my mind and body permission to let go. Because our body does what our mind tells us. So that's kind of scary, right? If we're not in control of the mind, then become a slave to it rather than the master of the mind, right? Okay, so I give my body and mind permission to let go, very important. Then I have them all take out their love scalpel, which is their finger.
Okay, we got her out.
And they open their heart, okay? Yeah. And then what we do is typically I'm sitting in front of one child in front of the class, and I pull out from their heart, like, can I do it?
Yeah.
I can do it.
Make it happen.
So I don't.
I didn't expect that today. No anesthesia, but
So we open, and then you breathe. Breathing is very important, and we pull from the heart. And with children, what I do is I say what I'm experiencing, like there's a rope, it's green, and then you'll see, children will be like, there's a unicorn, there's bugs coming out. Like it's all, so we pull.
Scoopy,
you actually have very strong energy. So we pull. So with children, we pull, and you can pull. So we pull, and it's like very fun process.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll feel the heat coming off, you'll feel whatever's coming out, and we pull it out until it's done. And it's a process. Like your energy was very strong. So it's not done.
Not done. Get it out.
You keep
Get it out. It's in there.
Let
It's
it
in there.
go. And then often what I find is like there's cobwebs towards the end, and then but then it'll just feel like there's nothing left. So and sometimes you'll have them pull it too. It's kind of like you're guided by your greater wisdom, and so you pull till it's done, and once it's out. Then we take our hands, I ask them, are you done? And they say yes. Because we always remember the noticing. So then I say, okay, notice how it feels now. And they'll say, I feel open. One girl said, I feel levitated. You said levitated earlier. You said, I feel levitated. One kindergartner said to me, now I know what it means to be open. Okay, so you hear lots of reports such as this. So then I say, okay, great. Now I want you to notice that, because we tend to only notice when we're disturbed. Please nurture when you feel open. So then they sit with that, and I say, and now add to that. Think of a person, a place, or a thing that makes you happy or peaceful. And so they add that to that already peaceful feeling, and then they cup their hands and then blow that energy into your hand. So we blow.
Okay, let's blow.
And then we seal our heart.
I was going to say, I didn't want to keep that chest open.
Seal our heart.
Close me up.
And so then if we're in a class, then I have them go up to, I can show you images, they're all over my Instagram, of hearts that are full of all these crazy energies. And then they go up and they erase it. And so obviously what we're going for is a clear heart. A clear heart is an open heart with an open mind. Wow. So we're able to be in this moment and really experience what's happening.
Wow. You mentioned a clear heart, and that's especially necessary at the end of a relationship. I know you also specialize in post-divorce.
Yes, I do.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
The big event's coming up this Saturday.
Yes, I have an event with It's Over Easy. We're doing a panel to help people with the process, whether you're going through divorce, separating, or any kind of breakup. It's such a challenge. You know, I was talking about loss earlier and how we can get so frozen in those situations. But I really want people to find a way, find their own path through loss, to be able to discover a new way of being.
And that's what the Bumble Biz, right? Is that correct, that event?
The event is all about post-divorce. And so we have different people speaking.
Yeah. But it's at the Bumble, the business hive thing for, okay, cool. That's so cool.
Yes, this Saturday, 2 to 4.
That's great.
You also do a lot of work in entertainment, right? So for years you've been working with OWN, you've been working with Bravo and Vanderpump Rules. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? We all have a little experience with that, because that world, both scripted and unscripted TV and entertainment, is a world that really deeply needs and sometimes values mindfulness. So how has that experience been?
Well, emphasis on sometimes.
Yes.
There's a facade of mindfulness going on, but it's not really mindful.
Yeah. You know, I think to be able to bring some calm to a storm is a gift, challenging gift, maybe.
It is. Yeah.
One that I hope to bring.
Yeah.
So yes, I worked on Bravo's Vanderpump the first 3 seasons, and that was my first entry into that world. And then I went and worked on Living Lozada with OWN, and that was a really wonderful experience. They really honored the process and showed how therapy works. So that was a very different situation.
Yeah.
And it's brought me into, with my own divorce and mindful untethering, which is the way I look at how to uncouple gracefully and with love, and how to create more love. I was motivated to use TV, reality TV, to, so to speak, marry reality TV with healing, rather than using it as this force that's kind of falling apart, to be that calm. So I'm working on something there.
Were you as surprised as I was by how much a lot of the cast members on those shows were deeply in want and need of happiness and peace and love? I was really overwhelmed. I mean, I thought I was going to be in a situation where it was just all about the entertainment and TV, but these folks were really deeply needing and wanting more peace in their lives.
Yes.
Was that your experience?
Oh, yes. That's what, I think that's what we all want. Who doesn't want that? We're just looking for it in the wrong places.
Right. And the reality is, like, the reality shows, meaning that I think that if you take each individual, everyone's probably really amazing human beings, but when you put it together with a production team that's trying to dramatize it, it makes everyone, it makes it into, you know, what really actually isn't necessarily reality.
Right, absolutely.
So fascinating.
It is.
So fascinating. So we've taken another break. When we come back, we're going to wrap this all up, give some tips for how you can take meditation into your life, and a few little things. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Good morning, La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jasmine Moyer. Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles.
America's first live streaming daily talk show.
At 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And we have a sexy show for you today.
We have got Will, Leanne, and Gabe in the house. Let's go back there. Hi!
Talk to 4 beautiful
intelligent, conscious women. Clearly, I was miserable the entire time.
She has a TV show similar to your guys.
Ellen.
Yes!
Yes!
The little peck, come on.
I feel so bad for Jess.
We're live, do it for the people viewing.
For the people.
Wow!
M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E Club Mickey Mouse.
We definitely were not prepared today, and it was
I'm okay on, but the other half completely.
We are streaming to you live Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Happy holidays.
It's gonna be a
Good morning, La La Land.
5, 6, 7, 8. We are the Mouseketeers, and we probably wear our ears. We mousing, we mousing, M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E Club Mickey Mouse. Good morning, La La Land.
We're back with Meditation Monday, and it's been a great day discussing meditation and the benefits, science, and all kinds of good stuff. So during the break, we have a little thing on the show now that where we don't, whenever someone started talking about something good on the breaks, we're like, save it, save it. We call it Regis, because Regis and Kelly and used to say this where we didn't want to talk about stuff. So in the break, you guys were bonding about Rupert. I don't know Rupert's last name.
Yeah, Rupert Spira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. They were like, oh, it's worked so great. So let's hear about it.
Well, I run groups. I was saying I run groups on Untethered Soul and Eckhart Tolle and Rupert Spira, and you know who he is, which I was so excited because I feel like Deepak Chopra said on one of his books, you know, he's the master currently right now. Like his ability to use inquiry, because Ramana Maharshi, who you mentioned earlier, brought this whole Advaita Vedanta, who am I practice, and it's been very challenging for people to be able to really bring that into their life.
Yes.
But I feel like he has such precision, so he can take a person and just really bring you into the current experience because it's all experiential.
Oh, it's just so beautifully stated. Yeah, I discovered Rupert Spira online, and what's interesting about him is there are people that are mystics that are deeply at peace, right? They know who they are at the deepest essence, and they live that out. And then there are people that are poets, right? And then there are people that are mystics and poets. So they just have this ability with language to be able to express this mystical or enlightened experience that they have through words, through precise, and Rupert is one of those people. He's so precise with his language that in some ways he bypasses your mind completely, goes directly to your heart and gives you an experience. It's like a transmission of presence and peace. And it's really profound. So to get a shout out by Deepak, of course, is the ultimate endorsement. But
Sounds like the spoken word without being preaching.
Yes, and well, what he's gifted, it's exactly what he's saying. He brings you into your body so that you have the actual experience, and he uses your experience in the current moment so that your proof is in the now.
Yeah. So all the greatest teachers, they always really, what they did was, their words were an excuse to bring you to meditation, and that in their presence itself was meditation. It was just a transmission of peace and presence and enlightenment just through their presence.
So he has videos and books.
Yes.
And what else?
I would start with his videos. His books are, I mean, he's really profound and very challenging.
Okay, we're coming to the end, so let me give you this real quick. We want to give you a little gift. It's called a Karma Army coin, and it's all about paying it forward. So it's, you know, buying someone a tea or a coffee or doing something extraordinary and giving them the coin, and there's a little code on it. You can go to the website and you can put stories of whatever happened with that coin, and then you can watch your butterfly effect. It's actually the GPS that goes along, you can see where it goes in the world and everything, right? Right? So yeah, we wanted to say thank you so much for all of your work and everything
For
you're
the
up
heart
to.
surgery.
Yeah,
untethered.
For working with the kids, for working with people going through divorce, all the above. So you're just an incredible, extraordinary woman, and that's what we want to showcase on this show. People like you.
You can invoice our producer for the heart surgeries. We can't afford it, but it's expensive, I have a feeling. But thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right?
Lovely to be with you.
So how much time do you spend in the office versus out on reality television?
I'm in the office mostly these days, but that's always changing. It's a constant flux.
Great. And where can people find you?
Oh, E-Winkler Therapy on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, and my website is elizabethwinkler.com.
And you take private one-on-ones and groups, and she's open for new reality shows as well. All right?
Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow for #Transformation Tuesday here on Good Morning La La Land. We are America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now on Twitter.
And happy holiday, you guys. Want to give a shout out to all the people who have been in service and knowing that we are all healing, and may we all heal.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So are you, obviously it's a holiday for you today? Holiday office is closed today?
Actually, I'm seeing 2 clients now.
Oh, yeah.